in all the skills that you have, from the past that you forget that you've learnt, and then suddenly they come to the fore again. And so that's how the publishing business started. So I talk to people who want to write their book and have them published. And we change the world one book at a time, is what I say.
And that means in next week or in 2 weeks, we see you here in the featured business.
Yes.
Well, she will be a guest.
In a couple of months, because there's so many booked up already, because it's such a popular thing. I think it's great.
Yeah, so once you've been a featured guest, you can appear in the book. If you haven't been a featured guest, you have to be a guest first. So actually we booked up on featured guests up until October now. So every Friday up until October. So going to keep Emily busy singing as well. So Emily's been a guest and a singer, so maybe a double spot in the book. Right.
Do you have summer break, James, for these sessions, or you continue?
Sorry, say that again.
You have summer breaks for these sessions, or?
So, yeah, I do. I blocked out some because we are away, so I blocked them out already. So I blocked out enough that would cover that if there was if I wanted to move someone forward a slot or something, then they could, because I just blocked a chunk for the summer because I don't know the plans yet. And then once I know, then I can free up those Fridays that I'm not going to use. Right. But I also need to know then Emily's availability, because she's going to be singing.
Running all the camps, probably.
James, you could become a digital nomad, and you could run the Friday program wherever you are.
I could. I've done that before. I did it in the car once, remember?
Yeah.
There was one. I forgot we were going to the, where was it we were going? I don't know, some museum or something, and I'd completely forgotten about it. So I'm sitting in the car park, and I'm doing the show in the car park, and people saying, "Oh, you're in your office," and it'd be in the car, and I had my laptop there, it was all plugged in, and it worked fine. But it's not.
And for Emily, I suppose that a ukulele would fit in a handbag.
So Emily's done it back at her dad's place, didn't you, in the UK? Because her dad joined in.
Yeah.
Right. You did it with the kids at camp as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, actually, the kids were the singers then. Right. So yeah, we try to accommodate all eventualities. You see.
I have an idea, but I want 10% from the idea. If we realize it, we can also make a Spotify channel for Emily. She can monetize also all these songs that she.
Yeah, but do you know how many clicks you need on Spotify to get $100?
It doesn't matter.
I think for one click you get. I heard it from Marion. Marion, she was a guest here as well. She said on Spotify you get for a click you get 0.0001 cent or something like that.
Oh gosh.
It's good. It's better than zero. So we need to start.
Yeah, I mean, you see, Yoko Ono makes a living on the songs of the Beatles, yeah.
Yeah. So does Emily, with all her covers that she does. You make a living out of singing covers, don't you?
I haven't put them anywhere, but I guess maybe I should.
Yeah. Anyway, let's make a start, right? So. Yeah, so welcome everybody. So everybody here is familiar with each other. So we've been on here a number of times. So we have obviously our featured guest, Laszlo, and we also have our new member who may come again. I don't know. Maybe you just quickly introduce yourself.
You're talking to me again?
Yes, the lady in red.
Hi, I'm Lady. I live in Lincolnshire in the UK. 2 daughters and a granddaughter. Granddaughter's 2.5 and she just rules our life. She says, play with us, and we just drop everything and play with her. But I'm a publisher and an author, and I believe there's a book in everyone. And it's getting it out of the brain and out of the computer, where stories live alongside all the photographs which don't get printed anymore. And it's my job to get them out to have lots and lots of readers.
Excellent. So I just explain how this works. So we have a spotlight on the featured guest. Anyone can be a featured guest. As I said, we're already booked up till October. So if you haven't been a guest already, let me know. Most people on here have been. And yeah, we start this off because we want to know the person behind the business. So we'll talk about kind of more the personal stuff without embarrassing anyone. So we're very sensitive about where we go on that journey. And then we transition across into their business, what they're doing now, and then kind of what it is that they need, how we can support them as a community, and then kind of a call to action. What is it that you want to leave us with at the end? And then also provide links and whatever, if you want to share anything. But we kick this off every week with Emily, all right? And Emily will do a song, and then I know you've got a busy schedule, so you have to jump off as soon as you've done it. So tell us the song you're going to sing today, and then we'll switch over to you.
Okay, so I'm going to sing a Louis Armstrong song today.
Oh,
Yeah, jazz is probably one of my favorite genres to sing. It's What a Wonderful World.
love it.
Give me a moment to pick whiskey because with coffee it's different.
Sound okay?
Yep.
Yep. Bravo.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
Another excellent song. What made you choose that one?
Well,
It's a Wonderful World.
Because it's a wonderful world.
Yeah.
it's kind of upbeat, and if I don't choose upbeat songs, I'll be singing like depressing songs every week.
Yeah, because you said last week was more of a sad one, and then you kind of livened it up a bit.
Yeah.
have you heard that mixed with Over the Rainbow?
Oh no, I haven't.
It's really good. It was in the film Finding Forrester.
Oh, okay, no, I haven't seen that or heard of it, but I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. So, Emily, I know you have to shoot off,
I do.
but I mean, yeah, maybe just drop your any contact details in the chat, because Lady likes to actually connect with everyone, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, she does a podcast as well. So maybe she'd want you as a guest to like to do some singing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Right. Okay. So if you could do that, and then let's go over to our 47th, right? Nearly there at 50 now, right? 47th featured business guest. So I'm going to try to pronounce your name, but you can then tell me.
You.
Yes. So I will say how I think it is, because I'm terrible with names. And then you can tell me how it really is. So 𝗪𝗡𝗪𝗡𝗪.
Okay, Laszlo without, as if without a Z, because in Hungarian the SZ is the S.
Okay.
So Laszlo, and the taught would be like as if without the H. So taught, like the English word, the past tense of teach, taught. You know, the same.
Okay.
That's the same pronunciation.
Right. Well, I've never have got that.
So yeah, I mean, it's in Hungary. It's quite common to have like H in the end of the names, but it's like a silent H. You don't really pronounce it. So anyway,
it's a typical Hungarian surname.
It is quite common, yes, both actually, the Laszlo as well as the taught as well.
And does it mean anything?
Laszlo is coming from it's a Slavic origin. You know, Ladislaus, if you know this. Ladislav, these names, which apparently means power and people.
Power to the people.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And taught is actually, it's a group of people. It's Hungarians living in Slovakia. You know, that part of the country used to be part of Hungary. Now it's part of Slovakia. And those people there, they were the Tauts, you know, so that's the meaning.
From which town or city you are, Laszlo?
I am from Komárom.
You have to wait. I'm going to ask the questions. Right?
Yes. So James, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, the idea is that unless there's something pressing, then raise your hand or whatever, or put in the chat. And then we open it up. But I mean, Laszlo, if you want to ask the audience any questions at any time, then you're the guest. You have that freedom to do that. So, but then we do open it up so you can all ask questions, unless there's something kind of urgent that you want to jump in and ask as we go through. So Emily's now dropped off, so she had to shoot. And right, so let's start. I don't want to know about your business just yet. So we want to learn about you. So this is the idea. We learn a bit about you, and we take you back on a journey, basically through your life. Obviously, a snapshot. We can't do it all, and yeah. I'm just looking at that lovely red apple. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Sounds good. It looks good.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, you know, with above a certain age, you know, from the group, you should put like 2 hours instead of 1 hour, because they have so much to share and so much to tell. So it's, you know, for the youngsters, you know, 20 plus, you know, it's like much less than for the 50 plus.
Exactly. So
jokes aside, but anyway, it's
so tell us a bit about you then.
Yeah.
So you're originally from
Hungary.
So which city was it?
It's called Komárom. It's let's say halfway between Budapest and Vienna. If you you have a map in front of you, it's along the Danube. It's relatively small provincial town. It was like probably like 10,000, 12,000 people. Now it's probably 15, 20, a little bit more. And so I was born and grew up there, and I lived there till age of 18. Then I went to university in Budapest. I studied mechanical engineering at the Technical University. And then, at that time I had a work contract with a company in 𝗪𝗓, if it's a little bit more further west, but unfortunately that didn't work out. it was the 1990s, end of 80s, and the whole country was kind of, going down. Of course, before all the, breaking down the Iron Curtain and stuff. So I didn't, spend too much time with this company. So I moved
Right.
that.
Hang on a minute. Let's park the company bit for
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Right. So you've got any siblings?
I have a younger brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and yeah, he still lives in Hungary.
So he's
Happy
35.
family. Yes, he's 35. 37. And yeah, he has his family, one daughter, one son. His daughter actually is getting married in a few weeks.
Wow.
If she can get married, because all these restrictions on actually ceremonies and stuff, it might not be,
Yeah, you won't
that
be
you can
allowed to
get
kiss the bride.
exactly, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my brother. He works for a bank in quite good, he's
But he's
established bank.
still in Hungary.
Still in Hungary, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what made you leave Hungary then?
So back to so I joined HP in 1990.
Oh, okay. All right. Wait there.
And it was coming from that. So
okay.
it was
But you now. So where do you live now?
I live in Geneva, in a small village close to Geneva. Yeah.
Right. But in Switzerland or in the French side?
In Switzerland.
France. Oh, in Switzerland.
It's Canton Genève, yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of people say Geneva, but they actually live across the border in France.
No, it's Canton Geneva. Yeah, it's a small village, just 15 minutes from city center.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you how you ended up there later, but
Yes.
let's just carry on kind of back in Hungary as a child. So growing up in Hungary in the time, I mean, was it problematic?
It was, I was born in 1964. I mean, no big secret. So, 70s, 80s, still, Hungary at that time was the, as they call it, the happiest barrack, behind the Iron Curtain. So it relatively free, for people, for traveling, for movement. So in that sense, of course, from inside, because you didn't have much, reference, obviously, to the outside, it was a happy life. Everyone did, his or her job, and yeah, it was a normal thing, going to school, playing with kids, music and friends and everything. So it was looking back, it was a happy childhood. It was nothing extraordinary. Relatively good living, standards of living. My father used to work for a big agriculture company. He was CEO of the company. He put everything in, like, education for the, children, my brother and myself. I think it's an old Jewish saying that if you have a huge amount of money, you invest in real estate. If you have a little bit less, you invest in jewelry and gold and stuff. If you have a little bit less, you invest in the education of your children, And I think it's really true that, he was kind of pushing us to things that, learning is really key. And, he's also, his, family background was totally different. So, things like at the age of 12, I started to learn, English, which was at that time was not really common, because it was, I would say not unheard of, but it's not really like you are pushed to do something like that. So, and it was really good fun, for actually the teacher was about one of our friends, family friends. And for 6 years, every Saturday afternoon, I had, an English course, and it was really a good, foundation or, for later education as well. So it was really good fun, good fun at that time.
And as a kid growing up, I mean, you played lots of different sports. No, a quick question. Do you come from a Jewish background then?
No, nothing.
Oh, I was just like, when you quoted like gold.
No, because it's
Because
again
there are,
education. You learn, learn about, the lots of things, and it was.
but there are, there's a big Jewish community
It's
in
quite, yeah,
Hungary.
it's actually quite big. Yeah, quite
Right, okay.
significant. Yeah. No, my family, my mother's family actually is quite a mix of Italian, Austrian, all kinds. And father's side is the 𝗘𝗔𝗖𝗛, the Slavic
Oh,
origin.
okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So growing up as a kid, I mean, what was your kind of your hobbies, your interests?
Doing the usual kid stuff, playing football and cycling and skiing. At that time, we started actually the three boys, my father and my brother and me. We started, skiing at the same time. I was 12, my father was 38, and we put our skis in the same time. All of us. So it was really good fun. Music, I also learned a little bit, but then, listening to music as well. It was really, again, coming back to the English side as well. Actually, my father traveled quite a lot at that time, and for business. And he always, took like a list, a paper notes, we put down like a list of LPs, the vinyls titles that he was, going to Germany or France or US, whatever. So it was always a good collection that he helped us, to listen to all these things. So it was good fun to get all these records at that time, end of 70s, early 80s. You're on mute.
Yeah. At that time, what sort of music were you interested in?
I was all the Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Rush,
yeah.
Queen, and all these really,
Cool
hard and
bands.
heavy, cool, all the 70s good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I went through lots of different types of bands.
I actually still, they are my favorites, I'm
yeah.
still.
Yeah, I mean, some like Queen stuff is kind of legendary.
Really,
I mean,
and interestingly, my daughter picked it up recently, Queen, like every morning I drive her to school and it's Queen.
Singing Queen songs.
Absolutely. I mean, she's crazy about Queen. It's I don't know, it's like a phase,
So you sing?
No, really, no. I mean, it's just
like Boyan. You sing like Boyan.
You need to have a few beers and drinks for get to this karaoke thing. So anyway, it's good fun at that time. It was really and also learning this English. Like I collected all these records and stuff, and I was so enthusiastic, like got down to translating, the full albums, the lyrics and stuff, because it's also learning as well as, kind of a show off that, the others, friends didn't understand what was, the song about. It's like, yeah, I know, so it was also good way of obviously, learning the language as well. So it was fun.
Right.
Hey, little Boyan.
Yeah. 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 What we used to do is we had lots of 7-inch records and whatever. We used to sketch out a story and then use the lyrics. We have to stop and we had one of those old recording machines with an external microphone. And we quickly switch it on, record those lyrics that you want, and do an interview just by using the lyrics from songs.
Yeah.
We were very clever in those days. I mean, you had to do things, but then someone walks in the room, right, and you've got this microphone like very like carefully balanced, and it's right by the record player, and then someone walks in, like your mum walks in, right, time for dinner everybody, and you think, oh, you've just kind of spoiled the thing. So but the things he used to do, you had to have an imagination as a kid in those days.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
anyway, that's what we did.
But now, I mean, the hobbies or the sports or the things that you like are.
I switched more. I do lots of photography.
Okay.
Wildlife photography, and I do lots of bricolage. I like, working with wood, stuff, building stuff, and yeah, something like that.
You got too much in common. Are you brothers?
Eastern European background. So yeah, I do bricolage and photography. These are my two favorite things.
And you follow any particular sport?
Formula One. Big fan, big fan.
Yeah.
I started, I think it was like around the age of 13, 14. And since then, nonstop, really. I watch every race, qualifying.
Hungaroring.
Have you been to
Hungaroring.
the Hungarian?
Oh yeah, many times. Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
who's your favorite?
It's Hamilton now, Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes.
Because we had Hert on here the other week, and he's a Hamilton follower.
Okay.
So he was telling us all about his Formula One, and he follows Hamilton. And
Cool.
he was number 44, you see, guest. And he said
That's
that
right.
was
Yeah,
great.
it's his number. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
So what number is yours?
47. I don't think anyone is 47 in Formula One.
Okay, you have to.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You have to find out who it is.
45. Yeah. 44 is Hamilton.
Yeah,
So,
I went to Silverstone in the UK to watch the Formula One, but that was many years ago. And,
I was Hungary a few times, and Monaco once, Barcelona.
Nice. Yeah.
Once Malaysia. It was a incentive trip from HP. I received it.
So you're really keen on Formula One?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. But you think now with Formula One, it's become a different style of driving compared to kind of the raw kind of driving before, without all of this technology?
It's always different. I mean, it's changing and evolving and developing and everything. So it's always like, it used to be this, used to be that. You know, if you follow it, you are a maniac. You are crazy about it, and no matter if it's boring or not, you cannot miss a race, right? So in that sense, you know, there's always something unique, something special, something particular in it. So
So did you do any racing yourself?
Go-kart, yes. Yeah. Well, not, I mean, like an amateur racing stuff.
Yeah,
not really.
We should all get together.
I was so competitive. I was like, and I was number 2. You know, we did a few races, and I think one of the it used to be Ron Dennis, you know, the boss of McLaren, and he said, you know, number 2 is best of the losers. And you know, I hated it, you know, so I was like really competitive. I was really, you know, but he was a younger guy who beat me, and is like, you know, probably like 15 kilos lighter.
Yeah.
And so he managed to beat me. But
we should do one in Switzerland. Oh yeah, nice, Walter.
Yeah, there is one in. Here we go.
Yeah, because Het was saying, because he lives in Switzerland as well. He was saying, or France, near the border of Geneva, but he was saying that he goes to this race circuit in France. So we should all get together.
Oh, that would
because
be fun.
I used to be a go-karter. So I did the Johnny Herbert circuit in the UK with twin engine carts, single engine carts, outdoors, indoors, electric carts. And
cool.
yeah.
I think
so I always finished. Oh yeah. I have to get mine out in a minute. I've got mine here.
Second place. It's always on my desk. You know, that's the thing. It's the, you know, the driving. You know, the best among the losers. So anyway, yeah. Hey, cool.
Wait there. Right, I'm going to show you here. This is just one of many. That's my first place.
Okay. Cool.
Is it safe?
Yeah.
Right. So
nice.
My friends were always jealous because they said every time I go, it's either first, second, or third. I never came away with nothing. Right. So that's why but I haven't raced for years. So we should all get together and
me neither.
And have some fun and bring Paul over from South Africa.
Actually, I went to 𝗪𝗪𝗪 once to, you know, the South African Grand Prix track.
Oh yeah.
So we had this. It was not the proper track that we used, but there's also like a go-kart thing around it, and it was good fun.
Yeah. So Paul, do you do go-karting?
No.
Right. Elephant karting.
Elephant karting.
Never late to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's what I did.
Right. So now let's kind of transition a little bit into your. So you married with children?
Yes, married for the second time.
It's,
one daughter, she'll be 14 in June. So yeah, she's growing up, teenager life. And,
hard work for you then.
it is, and but she's good fun. She's really good fun. Now that she likes Queen music, so it's like, you know, a few things that we have in common.
Yeah. Yeah, she dusting off those old records.
Exactly.
The things you don't have a record player anymore.
No, I have a huge. Well, I switched to CDs like in the early 90s, but even I stopped that. So I have like more than 1,000 CDs, more than 1,100 CDs.
Yeah, wow. Did you ever go and see Queen?
Yep, in Budapest, in Hungary. It was
So who else is?
1986,
Yeah.
1986 June 26th,
Wow.
I think. So, yeah.
Anyone else seen Queen here? Which year was that?
I can't remember whether it was 75 or 77, but it was at Wembley when Wembley was really small.
Yeah.
The first Wembley. So it wasn't, you know, the huge stadiums that they went on to do later. I think they just released the robot one. Is
the works.
No, before that.
Before that,
Sheer Heart Attack. Yeah.
Sheer Heart Attack. Okay.
Yeah, they just released that one.
Wow. Right. We could do a Queen night, right, and just do Queen music. Right? Yeah. We do some feature business specials, and we do things like things like that. So we could do something on.
We can do a Queen quiz.
A Queen quiz, yeah. But then we all have to dress up as well. Anything to do with the different eras of Queen, you have to come and paint your face and whatever.
The Brian May hair.
Yeah. I like David Bowie. I thought. I mean all that kind of era music. But anyway, so let's move on to now. Kind of, you're living like in Geneva. So what made you come from Hungary to Switzerland?
So I had so I started HP in Hungary in 1990. I had 4 years at the company. Then in 94 I moved to Germany first. I lived there for 3 years, moved within the company, and then in 97 I moved to Switzerland. It was an invitation for a job. It was not an opening or something publicized. And so I came here in 97, and I worked for HP 28 years. It was a really long career in the company. Wow. And I do millions, all these different kind of jobs. Obviously Hungary was Hungary, and that time later on, when I moved to Germany, it was a marketing center. I did all the Nordic countries, Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa region covering, and then Geneva, same, it was more Middle East and Africa region.
So what were you selling for HP?
It was the graphics printing, so industrial printing side, like they called large plotters. At that time, it used to be plotters. Now it's more like real, like poster printing stuff, or even bigger.
So
that was
after 27 years or 28 years or whatever, what made you leave?
It was lots of reorganization going in the company, and also lots of cost cutting. My job was what I always liked and was really enjoying is business development in new regions and new businesses and new business units and these kind of things. And it was turning too much internal stuff, like PowerPoints after PowerPoints and Excel sheets and reports. And it was really getting to a point where I was like, there's no real development, possibility. And with all these reorganizations going on, talking to various, managers and stuff, and it's like, there's not much more I want to or I can do here. At the same time, I was also getting, expensive for the company, obviously, because of with all the age and everything. And it was kind of a mutual agreement that, it's time to, try to go separate ways, basically.
Yeah, it must have been tough after so many years.
Yeah, exactly. It was, but also like, one thing is the toughness, you know, the other thing is like the freedom stuff, you know, like because now you have the time, you know, to do different things and you know, different opportunities, etc. You know, I took a few months off, you know. One is the legal side, you know, this gardening leave thing that, you know, you cannot join any competition or anyone for I think like 6 months. Still getting good money after, you know, still in the meantime. I also get a good package, you know, after 27 years. So it was not really an urgency to do anything, you know, so much differently. But then a friend of mine from IMD, I did an EMBA at the meantime in Lausanne. And, you know, the day after he phoned me that, you know, there is, you know, he has a small company. It's a startup that I should join, you know, similar industries, industrial printing side. So I joined him for a little bit less than 2 years, but unfortunately he ran out of money to finance this venture. So again, mutual agreement, you know, going separate ways. And it was yeah, a little bit more than a year ago. So since then, it's kind of looking for new opportunities, you know, just thinking. I don't have actually any business at the moment. So it's really like, you know, try to think of, you know, to find out what the next steps are or should be, what I want to do, what I don't want to do, you know, at the same time. And yeah, so it's kind of in between, you know,
Right.
at this
So
point. So,
what do you fancy doing? Something completely different to what you've done for all of these years?
yeah, I mean, it's I'm really interested in startups, you know, to either join one or kind of, you know, consultant or advice. I don't really want this consultant thing as a big thing, because it's, you know, everyone is a consultant now. So it's something that, I don't know, it's losing this, at least for me, it's very different. But in practice, you know, to actually do, you know, join, you know, like a board of company and advising then on and again, all the stuff that I did, you know, business developments, especially emerging markets, on these kind of things. That's, I think, what I would like to do, and I would like to continue with that. So things like Antnest, you know, all this networking stuff, and basically that's, you know, that's what I do in the last, you know, several months to really
So,
find out. You know, I
so
don't
how,
have anything concrete. I don't have anything like, okay, I want to be a medical doctor
yeah.
because, you know, this and that. It's just more like.
So how did you come to join Entnest then?
Actually, good question. I don't remember. It was someone, you know, I had to, through chômage, you have to do this career development, whatever consultant thing that, you know, you have to attend training, how to use your CVs and, you know, interviews, these kind of things. And there was a guy in a similar situation, you know, like I think he used to work with Johan at you know, his previous company. And this is when, you know, one of these discussions, he said, yeah, you should join Antnest because they're all, you know, all these, you know, like-minded people, entrepreneurship and new stuff and networking. And that's how, yeah, I signed up and
So
yeah, started.
is it working for you now? I mean, with
Yeah, I mean, it's really good people, good, you know, contacts to really kind of activate this network, you know, and getting in touch. Obviously, not only Antnest, but some other, you know, LinkedIn and IMD alumni and all these networking things. So yeah, that's what I do, you
okay.
know,
So
and besides that, all this other photography stuff and
yeah.
other fun stuff as well. Now
Okay.
I have a little bit.
So from being kind of a photographer and wildlife and Formula One and doing 28 years or so with HP and working with startups and whatever, do you feel you're drawn towards a certain way, direction of what you want to do, or are
Not
you
really.
still trying to contemplate what it is you really want to do?
Not really, because I mean, again, it's not strictly to a special industry or something, but I just, to have fun. I mean, that's really more like a motto of, whatever I will do, it must be something that I want to enjoy it. It's not that I did not enjoy the last, 30 years, but it was really, really good fun, HP as well as the startup as well.
So,
It's more like, and that's the, it's like, it's difficult to identify it or quantify it or qualify it. Just the other day I learned about a company in Switzerland. They do like drone industrial usage of drones.
oh yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's something. So I contacted them, if there's any like through LinkedIn connections and stuff like that, which you wouldn't think of, right? Because I'm also, I have a small drone and playing with it and go out flying, etc. To combine that with, this fun, with actual business development. They want to sell this concept or this, products into whatever countries and industries and stuff like that. So just an example, it doesn't mean that that's the one and only direction.
How did the conversation go?
Oh, it was just a message changing of emails.
All
so
right.
It's nothing.
But you wouldn't say no to something completely different like that, because
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, it's I don't have to be in the
but if you
graphics
think
printing
of,
industry. It's just more like,
if you
and
think
talking
of,
to people, talking to, to any one of you here is like, hey, there's something up in there. That's why I tried to contact Paul for the last few weeks.
he's terrible. That
He's
guy is
it's
terrible.
like I sent him invitations and he's not showing up. And but anyway, things like that. South Africa. I love the country. I traveled there 55 times in my life.
Wow.
I don't know. I really love, visiting the country. I have lots of friends there, and part of the photography as well, of course.
Did you took the shot of the animals behind you?
Yes. That's all from there. From
Wow.
So things like that. To set up. I don't know, like technology.
Yeah. So let's Paul explain himself then.
So
I'm just apologize. Not personal. Just
I know. But I'm still hunting you. No worries. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Now hearing your story, I'm even gladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so things like that. If anything, just comes up, like I also the last few months I was kind of in negotiation of actually buying a company. It's a distribution company, total different area, again through a link, through a connection of someone. Would be like get some banking, financing from like a LBO, leveraged buyout. You get money from the bank to buy a company and stuff. So to run a company yourself, things like that. It's again nothing concrete at this point, but yeah, some.
But you have kind of an idea of which way you're going to go, or
not really.
You're just playing it by ear at the moment.
It's really like, again, like this droning thing, or it's just like if anything, any new idea comes up, or any of these.
Like gambling, and you wait for the jackpot.
And yeah. So yeah, so that's where I am today.
Right. So
literally today as well. So yeah.
Right. So do you have? I mean, so there's no urgency, or there is a time limit on?
Well, I'm 57, so there is some urgency, but it's not like is it next week or the next month, or so yeah.
Boyan?
I want to say something. I read in Harvard Business Review that actually the chance of startups to succeed, actually the highest level is for people above 50.
Yeah.
50, 60, because, okay, you start up, but you really know what you're doing, how you're doing. So it could be.
So again, I mean, it could be multiple, like, working with several startups, and there's also some.
I have job for you, but we speak separately.
We speak separately. Good.
Right.
Glad.
Okay, so have you got any
So-
questions? Because
So
we
then,
want
and again, just maybe just on the other side, it's really this photography. You know, the last few years, I really picked it up more.
well,
Let's say seriously. I'm organizing an photo exhibition. It's already postponed 4 or 5 times due to these situations of pandemic.
yeah, you should share some links so we can check it out.
Yeah, setting up a website. I also planning actually writing a book. I started writing it already with all my
All
Africa.
right. Well, we got a publisher here.
Yeah, actually, it's I'm planning it in Hungarian. I talked to a pub, but it's easily to translate after. With all my Africa travels in the last 20 plus years, it's lots of good stories and animals and photography and photo stuff as well. So yeah, that's what I do. Besides the
Okay, so what attracted you to actually come on the featured business and to watch others and then actually want to be a guest?
It's really just to introduce myself and then getting to know people, and also that's why I'm watching others as well. Again, if it's bringing up some ideas and sharing my story with others and networking, get to know more people. So again, it's just really open. I don't have a business question. I don't have any concrete request in terms of can you help me with this or that, but still, if you can help me with something, obviously, or it's more the other way around. I have really lots of experience and many years of experience in various countries, Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa region, etc., to share my experience, to share my wisdom, to share my time and energy and everything. So that's where I am today.
Excellent. So just want to kind of open up to the audience now so they can ask you questions or you can ask them questions. So it looks like Walter is eager.
Oh, I just unmuted myself because you opened the floor. I don't want to be scolded. You are on mute. But as you elegantly passed the ball to me, thank you very much. Yeah, Laszlo, a very interesting story. You said you're 57 now, and how long you've been away from HP?
2 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Right. Okay. So I in a certain way I can relate to this, because you are probably now where I was 10 years ago.
Okay. So tell me what the next 10 years will be.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you do it precisely the way then I do it, you're going to search for ways where you can bring in your experience, where other people might rely on you or might want your expertise, specifically when it comes to judging or assessing a business idea, if it has feet, if it can walk and survive, and doing business development. For God's sake, if you've never been a salesperson, don't try to become one now.
I was a salesperson as well. I did everything.
Okay. So, and and the other thing is also this fantastic opportunity to do new things and to learn.
Yeah.
Open your eyes and see whatever you can do and learn. Now, one question I had when you were talking about your options is, what is actually the one thing that gets you out of bed in the morning? What's the one thing where you say, well, that's I'm really looking forward to?
My family, actually. My daughter. Well, it's besides logistically, I drive her to school every day.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's really, especially the last, 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, we spent a lot more time, together. And I know it was really good for me as well as for my wife and for my daughter as well. So it's really, I would say it's really a priority now, because my previous jobs, I mean, especially at HP, you 1 week at home, 1 week traveling somewhere, 1 week at home, 1 week traveling somewhere. So it was really, I felt, you know, that it was really missing some, you know, some connections, and it came back in the last, you know, few years. So that's definitely a good thing.
You are certainly in a good position though, with so many options, because I I like to think that if you only have one option, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
If you have two options, you're in a dilemma. When you have three or more options, then you really have a choice.
Yeah.
You can run into the next problem if you don't make the choice at some stage.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I get a sense that you are now at a stage where you want to make a decision, or you feel the urge to make a decision. So how can any of us help you with that?
No, it's really, as you say, you know, like in the first, you know, few months, it's kind of opening up. Okay, I have free time, you know, no need to worry about, you know, expenses or what. But it's after 1 year, it's really like, you know, I want to get out. I want to do something. And at the same time, with all this, you know, pandemic situations, you know, traveling and everything is really, really tough. Everything is on Zoom. But so meaning that, you know, networking is, I wouldn't say it's more difficult or less, but it's definitely different. But yes, it's really getting to a point where I really want to do something actively, you know, like yeah, that's exactly. And again, it's lots of networking. That's what I really, you know.
You mentioned that there's more of a bond now with your daughter, probably because you're not doing all that traveling anymore.
Yeah.
So do you miss the travel?
I do actually. I do. Again, it's, you know, HP times, it was really, I mean, well, before getting married, I had really crazy years, you know, end of the 90s, especially moving, you know, to new regions and new jobs. I had like, I don't know, more than 200 days out, you know, on the road. It was slowing down a little bit, but actually you get used to this, how you call it, jet setting, what, you know, like really, you know, flights,
you do get used to
hotels, but after that it was really like, you know, that's enough. Let's slow down, you know. I remember years or days actually, I was, you know, working with the Nordic countries as well. In 4 days I had 3 different cities, you know, to go to. Actually 4 different, no, it's like Göteborg, Stockholm, Oslo, and Copenhagen. And it's all the same, you know, like January, February timeframe, winter, everything. Radisson, SCS Radisson hotels, they all look the same everywhere in the world, you know. And it's like Wednesday, Thursday in the week, I wake up in the morning, I had no clue where I was, in which city I was. And it's like, and it's like, okay, I did this, I did that, so I must be here, you know, like, and of course it's really extreme, but you know, at the same time, traveling all the like Middle East countries, you know, Dubai or Israel or Turkey or South Africa or any of these countries, it was always, you know, so much fun. It was really like, you know, different cultures, different people, different, you know, everything.
I found, I mean, I did something similar. So particularly in the Nordics, if you're going to go there, you're going to go and see all the different countries at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's back to back. So you see a taxi, an airport, a meeting, and you think, well, we've got to get to the airport to get to the next country, ready for the next meeting the next day. So I know exactly what you mean. I've woken up in the hotel and I think I don't know where I am.
Exactly.
But I found that it was great when I was younger and didn't have any kids. And I loved the traveling. I loved the experience. But as I got older and with kids, then I started to hate it. And then I thought, oh no, I'm going to be away for several days and I really don't want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly 100%. So yeah, I had the same, you know, when, you know, I mean, daughters growing up, it was more and more difficult to, even for a day or two.
So coming to Switzerland, is your wife Swiss?
Oh, she's also Hungarian, but we met here in Geneva.
So how did you meet?
Actually, it was we met in an Irish pub.
Oh.
It was every first Friday of the month. It was the the young Hungarians. It was like an informal getting together, you know, type of thing. And interestingly, it was the very first time for me to actually go to this. Someone told me, hey, there is this meeting or, you know, get together. It was the very first time for her as well. And we didn't go back. And so it was like a one and only time, you know, when we met on that Friday. It was in July 1999. I remember that.
Mm.
And
Love at
yeah,
first
so that's
sight.
where we met. That's where we met, actually.
And it was love at first sight.
It was second, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had some debating in like a few months, and then we got together in the end. Yeah.
Debating.
Yeah, interesting.
Right. A question.
You are mute, lady. Yeah.
Yeah, my question is, you were saying that when you were doing the karting and the sports, that you were very competitive. And I love the phrase that, you know, second is the best, the top of the losers, but you didn't like that.
I hate it.
Were you competitive in your work?
Yes.
And will you be competitive in your business? And
Yeah.
how does that show?
It was, you know, in business, it's numbers. Obviously, that's how you know, you beating, you know, we had like a regional quotas and numbers and sales targets, all these kind of things. And it was just really, it's not only the money, because obviously you all the compensation and schemes and bonuses that you got, which was obviously very good, but also like, you know, the best developing region, the best developing business unit, all these kind of things. That always drove me. You know, it was really like, you know, how can, and if I had a smaller team or a bigger team, or it was, you know, sometimes I had jobs like a one-man show. It was always, you know, like okay, what can we do more, and put the rank number one, you know, besides my name. So it was, yeah. Now that's again, you know, in business is much easier because really, well, as in racing, you know, when the clock stops, as they say, you know, it's end of the talk. So yeah, in the business, it obviously all the sales numbers and everything. So
Was there a reason behind the question?
No, just picking up on what had been said.
Yeah.
That was all.
Right.
Whether it's a good thing or not such a good thing, whether you're competitive with yourself or whether it is against other people.
And also, like, you know, like just looking at my very first year at HP, you know, it's like a whole new area, you know, Eastern Europe in 1990. Obviously, no one had any clue about the business opportunity or anything there. So when I was hired, actually, I was the number 5 employee of the company at that time. And you know, I got a sales quota, I think like $1 million. That was it, you know. But again, no one had clue what's the real business opportunity, what, you know, there was. And I made 2 million in the first year. So actually it doubled the business. And with all the great, you know, bonuses and everything that came with it, I think it was the best ever year that I, you know, I had at HP. But again, it was all unknown, and then also the luck was on our side as well. So
exactly.
So you're quite used to being in the unknown. So now you're in the unknown again, working out what your next step is.
Yeah.
So do you find that exciting?
It is actually, yes, it is. Yeah.
I find it exciting having different guests, because there's amazing people that do just sit in the background otherwise, and you never get to really know them. It's, I still want to know who Paul is. You see, he comes on every week, but we have no idea.
Smiling.
Who he is. Right. Yeah. So we're actually
so that's
come
my
to
story.
time. Right, Laszlo, I'd like you. I don't know if you want to leave us with anything. Someone
Who's
playing
playing
music?
music?
Who's that?
Someone background music. I don't know.
It's not me. Right. Anyway.
So you know, it was really
great
talking to you, and it really, I like to talk to Boyan, I like to talk to Paul and Lady, Walter, everyone. It's really just keep in touch and get the discussions, you know, going, and share ideas, share, you know, everything, and let's let's have some fun. It's also, again, it's really something I want to do. I really,
Yeah, so we could speak to Hert and set up a go-karting competition.
And that's exactly that.
But I'm going to win, right?
I
You can be
another-
second.
I have a question, because we have all the experts here around. Who knows the real name of Freddie Mercury?
Oh, I did know
𝗓𝗓.
that.
𝗓𝗓𝗏.
Sorry?
𝗓𝗓𝗏.
Exactly, yes.
Was born in
Yeah,
Zanzibar.
Yeah,
And you get 10 bonus points.
And you know his job before he became a professional musician?
It's in the airport, wasn't it? Seen the film.
𝗪𝗘𝗔𝗥 at Heathrow, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there is a blue plaque in a house in Hounslow now.
Ah,
Same as you find a blue plaque for who else was in Hounslow? Can't remember. And one in Brixton for who said David Bowie? The Brixton boy. Yeah, you can roam the streets of London and see all the blue plaques of all the rock stars.
Wow.
Wow.
quite a long roam though.
Like a walk of fame, huh?
Kind of walk of fame, yes.
Have you done it?
But I saw some, yeah, but if I want to see some good people, I go to Putney to the Half Moon. This is a nice pub. Sometimes you can see some of the old stars there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw what was his name? The Hammond organ player of the Animals, Mr. Price. He was great.
Right. Yes.
Alan
Price.
Alan Price,
Alan
yes.
Price.
I used to work for his agent, so I met him once.
Yeah.
Gave him a lift in the car.
Nice gentleman, but he was a little bit heated up because he saw many people recording. He said, don't do it, I get in trouble with YouTube.
Right. Anyway, it's been a great pleasure.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. Any final words you want to say?
Keep in touch. And Boyan, Paul, Walter, Lady, thank you for all the questions.
Keep in touch.
And
I put a link in the chat, but we'll send you separate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And let's share some ideas and let's continue the discussion. So.
If you want, we can meet again Monday morning.
Actually, the timing is not really good because for me it's like they actually
it's picking up time for your daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am available around from 8
Bye-bye.
8 in the morning CET.
I'll see you later.
Thank you, Lady.
I could do it 1 hour earlier, but nobody else wants to do it.
Yeah, that's too early, probably.
Oh, 1 hour later, Walter. 1 hour later.
1 hour later, yeah.
Oh, what I do, I do it live at 6:30, and then I put a recording online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too early for me because that's exactly the time the kids are getting ready for school.
Yeah, so I should do it earlier. We should do it
later.
Yeah. Even later. Okay.
Later is better when they're at school.
Yeah, exactly. From 8 o'clock, I would be okay.
So it's been a great pleasure. And thanks for being a regular also on the show.
And thank you, James, for organizing this thing. I mean, it's really, really appreciated. I know you put lots of effort into this and get to know all these people. And I think it's a good initiative and really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to be in the book, then I'll drop your note. But Lady is the one that's the publisher. Okay. So I've already been speaking to her for some time now. And the idea is if you've been a guest, then share that story, keep that alive and put it in the book with everybody else's. So there'll be multiple featured businesses in the book.
Would she do like an interview type of thing or you tell your story and she writes it down, or
no you tell. There'll be a template basically, but it's basically you tell your story, right, like you have now, but if there's any particular area you want to focus on, and then
or leave out.
Yeah, exactly. And then also with some images, maybe a picture of you as in the childhood or in Formula One or something else. And then so a number of pictures X amount of words, and I need to figure out how many that's going to be, and it'll be between 10 and 15 featured businesses in a series. And if you think we've had 47 guests, then you're not all going to go in one book. There'll be multiple different books, but only for people that want to be. But I mean, obviously it's not free, because it's about publishing, editing, scripting, promoting. I mean, it's not just about creating a book and say, all right, there you are. It's about maximizing the effect with all of us to get it, hopefully, to a #1 slot as well. And then to get it doesn't mean it has to be #1, but at least create that visibility that we're all, if there's 15 people, 15 people promoting it as well.
It's like a who is who, right? Type of thing. It's
but it's also great for 𝗬𝗏𝗧, because you would get to see these are people that belong to 𝗬𝗏𝗧, and if you want to know a bit more about them. And I like the idea in the way that otherwise you're just a name or a picture and nobody knows about you, and then it's harder to connect to you because I don't have anything in common, and I have to try and create that to start a conversation. Well, now I know that you do go-karting, you're into Formula 1 and photography or whatever it may be. I feel like I could just chat with you now because the ice is broken.
Some common things to be found.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, on that note,
right. Thanks, gents.
Good. Nice
on that note,
I'll
give you.
So, Bojan, maybe next week we can talk. And
I send you a link on LinkedIn,
okay,
so you can find the proper time. I know what I want to speak to you, but no big surprises, so you know me.
Okay. Paul, how can I get in touch with you? Do you have another email or something? Just.
I sent you an email.
No, you did not. No, it was only 𝗬𝗏𝗧, which you only check like once a month, you said. So
don't say that publicly.
It's at paul@elusive.com.
Yeah.
No, well, I think I wouldn't even question Paul. I wouldn't even question that, because you're in South Africa and you have the benefit of a power outing every 10 days. So it's
Don't try and depress me now. It's Friday afternoon.
All right. Anyway, so just send me your email address and I can connect you. And Walter, I can easily. It's much easier to reach you, so I know that's it.
I think I put it here in the chat, or you find me easily, not only on 𝗬𝗏𝗧 but also on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Or you put the notes in the comments under 𝗬𝗏𝗧. And then people can see them there as well, if you want. I mean, I will copy
the notes as well.
I will copy these notes across.
Perfect. Good.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll give you the copy of this recording.
Okay.
So once it's gone through, because I put it into the YouTube and then top and tail it, and then give you the link.
Perfect.
And if you want to share that link with others, then that's entirely up to you.
Right. Sorry for breaking rules, but James, can you give away who is following Laszlo next week?
Who's next week? Right. Okay. Then.
Mystery of the mystery.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Mystery again.
Mr. Mystery.
It could be Miss Mystery.
Oh.
Miss Mystery. Mysterious Miss.
Yeah, it was mystery, but actually James uncovered it the last week quite early, so it almost killed the curiosity.
I need to actually check, because I normally run a week behind in the way that I don't normally check them until after this guest. So we're going back to a woman next week, right? And she's Dutch, or she lives in Holland anyway. Very interesting, into circular economy and a startup.
So she's new. Have you seen her before?
Very new. She's leveraging on data and technology to accelerate the global transition to an ecologically safe and social just world.
All right.
Okay. This could be interesting. I know nothing about her yet.
And what's her name?
I can't tell you, because you'll be checking out before.
And it's still recording, so
keep it secret. Otherwise, I don't show up.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I don't know what's happening next week, because I have my appointment for my annual boiler checkup, and you know
boiler.
they will come right in the moment when you
Yeah.
have the one and only meeting during the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out the old
Replace the
boiler.
boiler faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't there a joke about checking out the old boiler?
Which one?
Anyway, so
Okay.
yeah, you'll know soon because I mean, I will. Yeah,
Okay,
I just have to.
Okay.
I have to post that out. So I mean,
Okay,
you'll
we know soon.
but it won't be
Have a
mystery.
great weekend, and
Thank you, gents. All the best.
Lasso,
thank
all the
you.
best for you.
Thank you again.
See
Keep
you
in
again.
touch. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
it was great.
Bye, Paul.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, Boyan.
Right.
Bye bye.